Here are two stacks of color and translucent. The one on the left has over 30, maybe. The one on the right has 16. And this one's a solid color purple. There's color on the one side and white on the other side, in between the layers of translucent. You can cut thick or thin. A thick slice will leave more of the sides showing, but that needs to be squished thin because translucent gets so cloudy. This one's thick enough. If I press it one way, the white will show, and I press it the other way, the color will show. This can be done with several different kinds of tools. I've done it with toothpicks. There you see the pattern. The patterns can be straight like that or more curvy. I like to roll it thin, especially if I'm going to be sanding it. Roll it out flat. The more you roll it, the more the translucent will show. And I'll cut off the edges to make a nice clean pattern showing. This can be used flat, or it can be used as a veneer to put over something. In this case, I've decided to put it over a cylindrical bead. There will always be a little bit of an issue with the seam if you choose to do it this way. It doesn't match up quite perfectly. It has such neat wavy lines. Roll it out, smooth it out, reshape it. It can be fat or thin. You can cover the ends and flatten those out. This is what it looks like once it's been baked. Again, you can see the seam, but I still think it looks pretty. I love the dimension, the depth that's shown. Okay, this is if you turn it into a circle by just cutting off some of the corners, form it into a circle. There's air bubbles. Air bubbles are such an issue. So at this point, I'm doing everything I can to smooth it out, get rid of any, I don't know if you saw that little air bubble, but there's a little air bubble there that I'm trying to work out. And if I wanted it to a cab, I could have just left the lines. This one I'm going to try to make a bead where the whole thing is covered. So the two circles will make a nice bead. Careful about bringing the edges together as neatly as possible. Now the bead could be just left like this. I like it like this. Again, whether or not you do thick or thin slices is going to make a difference in the overall appearance. But just to show you, I wanted to show you the different shapes that could be made. I like it like this, but then of course I go on to swirl it some more just for fun. I'd love to see somebody try one of those lentil swirl beads. I've never quite gotten the hang of it, but I think they'd be great with covered with a cane like this. And then this could be squished into a cab, flattened into any shape. I'll end up making a circle bead out of it, but it could be anything, a spherical bead. And this is what it looks like baked. I love the layers. I think they're just beautiful. I like to show you in the video because it's really hard to show you in the PDF. The pictures aren't the same. That was the one with more layers. You can see the difference. Almost twice as many layers. Here's the one with a lot of layers also. This is a cylindrical bead. can be kept just as is with the straight lines. This is a good way. Even if you're going to turn it in, whatever shape you're going to turn it into, this tends to be a nice way to be able to cover the black. So you can, it's not too hard to gather the ends to cover the black on either side. But I'm using this as a, oh, there it is as a circle. But I'm actually going to roll it back out and use this as a base for twisting it some cool directions. And it's a lot easier when it's long like that to twist in the directions I want. Again, it can be, I could have stopped at this point. Could have made it any shape I want. Here it is as a circle. It could stay as a circle, but I've decided to pick the angle that I think was most interesting and squish it flat. Squishing it flat just smooths that out very well, and also see the sections of black show through better if it's been squished. It makes the translucent thin and visible. The back hasn't been sanded, the front has. Now I'm going to show that you can layer these canes in different ways. I'm going to layer the second one on perpendicularly to make a crisscross pattern. It takes a long time to smooth it down. It's important to smooth it down. Air bubbles will drive you crazy, so be careful of those. You can barely see it now that it's not baked, but once it's baked you can see the lines, the crisscross lines. This can be done with solid color. It might look even more sophisticated with more sophisticated colors. The white on the one side and the purple on the other, just based on how it's been pressed down. Here are a few more. This is the one with more layers. Another way with waves. This is the original wave if I hadn't made it into a bead. This was done, I think, with a toothpick, pulling lines through the clay. You can use different tools and make all kinds of shapes.